Hey, welcome to Triathlete Magazine. We are here in Snowbird in Utah at the 2010 Specialized Bicycles product launch. And I'm here with, from your right, Luke Callahan, Chris DeLuzio, and Mark Cote. These are the three of the many designers, or engineers, I should say, at Specialized that helped put this the debut of today's debut of the Shiv. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the details on the development of this bike, but first, you guys, all the three of you guys, kind of came at this from a holistic look, but you guys came with individual elements that you're focused on. I'll pass the mic around to you guys, but tell us a little bit about what you guys were looking at when you guys were creating this on a holistic basis.
For sure. Yeah, so I'm pretty much the aero guy and worked specifically on the aerodynamic elements of this bike, where Chris came up with the mad scientist design details that have gone into create the system integration of this, and Luke engineered frame platform, the fork, and the other fixings and pieces that have gone through here. But yeah, from the aerodynamic standpoint, aero's the largest force and the largest resistance that an athlete feels on the road. So by optimizing and integrating every piece of this bike as a system, we're able to really drop the drag of the bike to levels that, frankly, I didn't think we'd see as a fully built bike. Head-on drags down around 500 grams at 30 miles an hour, and into crosswind down under 400 grams at 10 to 15 degrees. And so from that target, I've been super happy. Pass over to the concept guy, Chris DeLuzio.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, so this developed as a concept to try and coax Saxo Bank into riding Specialized bikes. They were already really excited about the SL2 tarmac, and really they needed a full-on TT machine. And so we took this on as a challenge to ourselves to please them and to really make the bike that they would be proud to ride. And this is it, the Shiv. It's got an integrated front end. It's got integrated brakes. It's the stem is connected underneath. The front end is super stiff. Guys like Fabian Cancellara can really put the power to this bike. So it's got massive down tube and horizontal top tube for in-saddle pedaling and cornering stiffness. There's so many details to go into, and that's really what this bike is about, and that's what the team has focused on, is the details of this bike. And a lot of the detail is in the dirty work of the modeling and the ins and outs of how we're going to make it, and that's what Luke and I did. So here's Luke.
So yeah, when it comes to ins and outs, I guess Chris and I are pretty used to developing frame platforms together, and there's a lot more that goes into a frame than I think most people would realize. You know, we start with concepts. Chris will do some crazy sketch on his computer, probably make a Bondo model. We take that to the wind tunnel, and then once we fine tune that tunable model, because it's a Bondo model, you can kind of tune it in the wind tunnel. That comes back, and I'll set out to make a 3D model of the whole frame, and that in itself is a pretty big endeavor. It sometimes causes some headaches, but it's the part I like, actually. And coming from a more structural frame background like the SL2 and a lot of the road bikes, something we do know at Specialized is how to engineer stiffness into the frame and also make it light. So that's something we really targeted on this frame. The tube shapes are shaped not only for aero but for stiffness, and it's something that was absolutely critical for Fabian and the rest of the Saxo team to have.
A little bit of detail on the bike. You mentioned the front end a little bit. Tell us a little bit about fit. I know that you guys are going to be running mostly on XY coordinates as opposed to a top tube length or seat tube length.
Yeah, I think the fit story is really exciting for TT, triathletes, and just cycling in general. With this platform, we're able to step all the way to an effective stack and reach system. So as opposed to even looking at a frame stack and reach, the only thing that varies between sizes of the frame of this bike is the reach. And so we're actually even calling these bikes by the effective reach from BB to the center of pad. So there's a 456, 471, 486, and 506, and those are the actual sizes of the bike. We aren't calling them T-shirt coordinates or top tube length, so that when you do an XY analysis of the bike you're riding, to switch over, you know which frame you're going to. And then your stack, you have your Y position of your current bike, no matter what stem you're doing, and you just go up vertically. Super simple, super clean, dialed and easy to make micro adjustments, and it focuses more on set your rider leg length based upon who you are, and set your torso. Really, really simple, really clean, and we're excited to adopt this system.
Then probably the last question I would have would just be with regard to triathletes. This is certainly a different beast than the transition. Quite specialized. The fit parameters are a bit narrower. Just tell us a little bit about how this is going to be kind of positioned, and then also if we're looking at maybe having some of your triathletes that are going to be riding this maybe in Kona.
Yeah. So when it comes down to the original goal of this bike was to deliver on stiffness, weight, and aerodynamics targets that our Pro Tour team riders need. So the first goal is to hit the fit of Team Saxo Bank and a lot of the UCI specifications that go with that, saddle setback and things like that. Of course, there's going to be triathletes that fit within this fit range. It's a tighter box than the transition will be able to adapt to. So as it comes, of course, this bike will be launched in spring of 2010 in very limited quantities. And of course, there will be some triathletes that will want to get on this and fit on it. Some of them will be able to, and then others will be outside of that range of the platform. So transition actually for 2010 is coming, increasing 3 new sizes, a new extra small, a new extra extra large, and then even the extra large goes taller in the head tube to accommodate for those triathlon fits. Where we end up going with our professional athletes on the triathlon side, of course, we want to deliver the best technology that we can to our pro athletes, no matter what race they're doing. At this point, we don't know for sure what will come at Kona, if Macca and Terenzo and TJ and everybody will be racing this bike, or if they'll be racing their transitions. What it'll come down to is what fits best and what's best for the course there. So
I just want to add that I don't know a whole lot about triathlon. I'm learning a lot from Mark and Brendan O'Brien at work, who's pretty good, and Jay, of course. I do know Pro Tour, and I know those guys, they're monsters at riding a bike. I also know they didn't just get out of the water, and they're not going to go run when they're done riding their bikes. They're pretty flexible. They're going to get off and get a massage. So there's a small window for this, and if any triathlete can fit on it, you're going to benefit. But as Mark said, the Transition's still an awesome bike, and all the sizes will fit everyone out there. So thanks.
Good deal, guys. Thanks so much for your time, and congratulations on this debut. Thanks.
Thanks, Jay.